love, what is love? And no, I don't mean Hathaway's What Is Love that took over the internet in the early 2000s. I mean, what truly is love between two people? Is it a shared mutual connection? Is it a little expressions of gratitude here and there? Or is it just dropping straight to bumping raw uglies together in the bedroom? But virtually. Through text. On a screen. Hey there everybody, I'm William is Funny. I'm going to tell you a funny yet cautionary tale about an absurdly bizarre situation I stumbled upon many years ago. Let me go ahead and tell you right out of the gate, this video is not meant for children, if you didn't catch that already. That's right, little Timmy Jr., drooling on your tablet right now. Get off this video and go watch your Cocoa Melon brain rot of, I don't know, and I got clip.
I faked my own death.
GTA 5 driving course video below it. Maybe Subway Surfers? So, I don't know anymore. Now that that's out of the way, let's delve in. Or dive in. Or something. Something. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone remembers their old days of childhood, right? Surely everyone remembers being out on the playground, grabbing a cool stick on the ground, and role-playing knights, or pirates, or other cool stuff together. Usually smacking each other until one of you cries or bleeds. For me, it was the early 2000s. Y2K had just ended, and it was the slow, gradual decline of kids using their bikes and doing a lot of physical activity outside, and the rise of children spending most of their free time inside, eyes glued to the screen, playing video games by themselves or with friends. We were the first generation to have total access to the internet pretty much our entire lives. Early 2005, I have memories of going around on those incredibly simplistic websites that took hours to load, so I could stare at a shiny GIF, Sonic running past the screen, hitting a new MSN icon, well, Sonic. So how does that all relate, you might be wondering? Well, what if you wanted to do that cool outdoor roleplay, playing with all your friends, but you don't want to go outside? Because outside's scary and mean, and inside is nice and warm. Well, sometimes, depending on your childhood, you know. Anyways, and what if the friends you want to do that with are actually total strangers you met on the Sonic Flash Game chat room who you couldn't possibly tell are all actually the people they say they are? You know, the thing your parents warned you about? I hope. Well, what if you could do that with the convenience of instant messaging? Just slap an asterisk on both ends of that message to signify an action, you're good to go. No more being out in the sweltering sun, broiling away and risking skin cancer or malaria from a mosquito or socializing like a normal person. Now you can do it all within the comfort of your own home, and with actual, literal strangers from miles away. Now imagine this all happening during your pubescent stage of life. Surely that can't go wrong at all. Surely. Teenagers are usually renowned for being one thing, and if you were a teenager before, you know it already. We were almost all immensely horny. And, you know, that's kind of just part of puberty. Hormones go all out of whack. You're growing up! Some people learn how to properly deal with it. Others, not so much. It is here on this little cesspool of a Flash chat room where I met this guy who goes by Chris, with a last name that starts with R. I don't think that's his actual name, because he went by that entire title his entire time I knew him. And you have to be pretty fucking stupid to basically dox himself the entire time he was on the internet, but he's pretty much been a caveman the entire time I knew him, so to cover my own ass, we're not going to say that last name, real or not. It is also where I meet this very interesting person. Always was slightly older than us by a few years, I believe. Her name is Alice. For years, me and this group of friends hung around, doing our silly little roleplays of Sonic adventures, but implanted with our terrible Sonic OCs that half the time weren't even anthropomorphic animals, just anime people. It's all over, Dr. Eggman. Cursed technique. Inverted asshole. Now, after the fall of the Emerald Games chat room, came the rise of the Discord servers, splintering off. in an event I would like to call the Great S-Geg Diaspora of 2015. And as we splintered off into these groups, some of us regrouped, for better or worse. I wound up getting in touch with a lot of old friends I still talk to a lot and have great relationships with. Alas, not all you find in the ground is gold. Most of it is dirt. And shit. That's where these two I mentioned earlier come in. Well, not just them, but they're the main folks here. These two chuckle fucks are the epitome of porn addiction brain rot. I won't get into some more personal things these two did in their time here, but I will say that their horniness was a detriment to everyone around them. One of which Chris literally forced a close friend of mine to, prepare yourself for this. To roleplay as a girl version of a character representing me. And have sex roleplay with him. And then after this, he went to me to tell me how hot it was.
Listen, you not a different breed. You just different. You're weird. Goofball. I
don't know how burnt out your dopamine receptors have to be to find that action acceptable behavior in any regard, but what do I know? Alice was just kind of weird towards people in general. I remember her being really weirdly aggressive and snappy with people. I never got it. I remember once I told her to stop acting so edgy, and she unironically told me, "It's not edge, it's insanity." And then called me an ableist slur. Fun times. Unfortunately, I've lost the image to time, so you'll just have to take my word on that. This, of course, brings us to the penultimate moment this video is about. The time these two, unprompted, in the middle of a fairly, normal roleplay session, fucked each other. In roleplay. And let me tell you, as you read it, you can tell these two have no idea what sex is like and have never actually had it. I guess it's kind of a call-out if you think about it that way.
I come to make an announcement!
Sorry, Mike. Before we begin, allow me to provide context. Chris is role-playing as a representation of himself that is literally supposed to be Sun Wukong. And Alice is role-playing as a representation of herself that's a hot anime girl, seraph, angel, feline thing? But I'm as confused as you probably are. This transcript begins about, I'd say, in the middle. I unfortunately did not have the raw screenshots for this entire exchange anymore. I do, however, have a copy-pasted transcript of the beginning and the end of the exchange getting saucy. Now, obviously, I won't be going over the entire script. That will take forever. Instead, I'll be going over the more interesting parts. I will go ahead and mention, although warned at the beginning of the video, this will contain references to sexual intercourse and even a partial implication of potential non-consensual sex at one point. So if this is not something you wish to subject yourself to, I suggest clicking away now. Without further ado, here we go. There was one thing that kept Christopher off balance. Something that would make any kind of person crazy if consumed. The feeling of need. Everyone had a need, or a needy feeling in their body. Can I start off right off the bat by saying describing being aroused as needy just kind of comes off as cringe to me personally? Holy shit, you don't need sex to live. What are your fucking balls gonna explode if you don't come? The woman's admirable figure, wealth, wisdom, power, and posture only made her a sought-out Vestal for a bride in the world the two now had adapted. I don't think you know what Vestal means, unless you are particularly talking about a virgin consecrated to Vesta, the Roman goddess of hearth and flame. The fact your character is contemplating setting this guy you barely know right off the bat is anything but Vestal. No, I'm not slut-shaming. What you do in the bedroom's not my business. Her ocean blue eyes dilated wide, and she did not know what to say. Likely, she said no. The instinct she'd given him would take over reason. I'm sorry, but what do you mean by the instinct she'd given him would take over reason? Do you mean he wouldn't be able to control himself and force himself upon her? That's repulsive. There's nothing sexy about the implication of sexual assault. Sorry, let's continue. Alice, I wish to tell you something. I've been in conflict with the darkness inside of me. The woman nodded, soon pulling back her dress from her long, slender legs to reveal her long, smooth, and pale leg. The fact she described her leg as long twice is telling me she really, really wants him to know how long her legs are. And slender. Like Slender Man? A woman elegant made her way to the monkey. Oh, don't call him the monkey. I know he's literally a one-to-one of Sun Wukong, but that just sounds weird. Placing her pointer fingers upon his lips and using a beckoning motion towards the bed. Pointer fingers? Like, plural? How many does this bitch got on one hand? She got them AI artwork hands. Oh, that explains it. The female slowly removed her white ribbon panties, placing them on the nightstand as the female slowly raised to her knees. For one, why do you keep calling yourself the female and him the male? Is this like turf sex? Ew. Gross. For another, of course it's fucking ribbon panties. Anime ruined an entire generation. Her D cup still in the lovely white bow bra. Her body was now exposed to the cold of the window. The fragrance she often carried of candy was that of lavender and the beach. Pussy is not supposed to smell like lavender. The beach? Well, her I'd believe it. A California beach, maybe. Good look around the room. It was filled with books that held legends, like the one of Chris's hybrid, Sun Wukong. There was also the 101 Nights, and so on. Animal plushies adorning the room. A makeup mirror which was vacant of makeup, and so on. You can't just end two sentences with "and so on" in a row. That's gonna be a C- for your English paper. See me after class. Also, why are you describing your room in the middle of a sex roleplay? Wouldn't it make more sense from a literary point of view to describe it from the beginning? The atmosphere of the room was calming the moment he smelled sweet inside. The Feline was beginning to think of the multiple outcomes of this hold before just eventually giving into the fruits he wanted, and pouring multiple positive emotions into the kiss. Felidae is the name of the genus of the animal kingdom involving most felines. You are role-playing an anime woman angel tiger thing. You would not be in the fucking Felidae genus. Every thought may run his mind. The secondary thing to keep into his head was to treat Alice gently, carefully. No matter how much reputation he has as a king, Christopher treated her like expensive, decorative pottery. These two write sex roleplay like a middle-aged white woman writes their erotic sex novels. Fucking expensive, decorative pottery. Yeah, I bet she does look like that because she's a pale white woman. The female had begun to bit her lip as the male atop her was close to her chair. Easy go. The bedding behind her starting to bleed as her stubs began cutting open the flesh, revealing her long, luxurious 6 white wings, which stretched from each ear of the massive room, eventually moving to the ceiling. You know, that'd be a pretty cool part if it wasn't in the middle of the dweebiest sex encounter I've ever personally witnessed. her cat-like sandpaper tongue tracing his jaws to conform his fangs. He tasted like fruit. She probably tasted horrendous to him, as she'd just been prepared a dish of grilled pork.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
In a sense, Alice was indeed an exotic beauty. She knew how to please a man no matter their type, even though she was oblivious to it.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
She gave off a silent call. What the hell is silent about that? Her white feathers now dancing against a bone-structured froze, or also known as a wing bone. She didn't move her wings any further. I hope not to encounter the phrase wing boner for the rest of my life, ever since the My Little Pony golden age of 2010 to 2020. And yet, here I am, made to the cursed phrase yet again. Barren, afraid, and scared. These are dark times. Another intoxicating feeling of his body pulled into him. It was perhaps a climax of sorts building up in him. But if he ever so continued any longer, he would burst open like a smashed fruit. Like a smashed fruit. Yeah. Me when my girlfriend flattens my balls with a hammer. Yeah, yada yada. Bro comes, bro leaves, there's some stupid ass plot development that she's in prison for having sex with him, blah blah blah. As you can see, that was terrifying. Gross, weird, lots of things, really. None of them good though. Now, you might be asking yourself, if you haven't already, why are you bullying these two innocent lovebirds? Well, for one, if you decide to completely ignore the weird part about first making my friend do that really weird thing involving that personification of me, Alice is a transphobic piece of shit that's also homophobic, and targeted my non-binary friend for being less mask-presenting, and called them a, and prepare yourself, trap, in regards to her super transphobic boy toy not liking their kind. She also, every time she unironically whores her character out on Twitter, always makes a weird clarification that she will not accept women or femboys. Kinda going back to that stuff I mentioned earlier. Oh, and I forgot to mention, she still does this shit on Twitter. All the time. It's crazy. And still with Chris. And so that ends the tragic tale of Sun Wukong and anime angel cat girl fucking for some reason. Yeah.